So hello friends, as the new financial year has already been started, and by the time you will see this video, maybe it is a new month, which is May. And in this video, I'm going to tell you the complete guide on NRI property sale for 2025. So there has been lots of question in earlier year about, because there are lots of changes in the budget, the Financial Act. So in this video, I will tell you the complete step approach if you're an NRI and you're planning to sell your property in India. So let's begin. So very first part, if you're planning to sell property in India as an NRI, you have two options. First option, you can sell property and pay TDS, which is approximately 20-23%, and then file a return and claim the extra TDS you paid at the time of selling property. This is option number one, which is pretty much straightforward. But the only problem, your 20 or 23% of money, the 23% of total sale value, not the profit. So 23% of total sale value will be stuck for 1.5 years. And now getting refund is not that easy nowadays, because I will also in upcoming video I will tell you there has been new rule which says that if you have any kind of demand or any kind of compliance pending, the income tax department will not issue the refund until you clear that demand or clear that compliances. So slowly the income tax department or government is putting more grip, and they are not giving refund as easily as it used to be just previous year. So always consider that first option is easier, but you may struggle to get your money back from the income tax department because refund will not be that much easy. The second option you have when you're planning to sell property is apply for lower TDS. Now lower TDS is very simple option given by income tax department, where if you feel that your actual tax is less than 23%, you can apply to income tax department, and with the supporting document you can ask them to issue a lower TDS certificate where you have to pay less TDS, not 23%, whatever actual tax rate is coming. For example, your actual tax rate is say 5%. So instead of 23%, you have to just pay 5%. So your money will not stuck for 1.5 years. You don't have to run from pillar to post to get the refund. Now, for second option, of course, it's the best option. You have to do a little bit of work because you have to start slightly early. So once you decided that you want to sell your property, say this year or maybe any year, at least you should have 60 days in your 6 days of time to process this lower TDS, because it takes time, right? So what is the process in second option? The process is very simple. The first part, whenever you meet a buyer, prospective buyer, and he shows interest and want to move forward, the first document you sign, which is called Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, and then generally buyer gives you a token money. The token money can be anything. Try to keep this token money lowest, because on this token money you have to pay 23%, despite the fact you are going to apply lower TDS later, because this token money will be considered as an advance, and because you received this money without applying for lower TDS first, this token money will be you have to pay taxes, or you have to pay TDS at the rate of 23%. So if you are accepting 5 lakh, better accept 1 lakh only. So after taking that token money, the next step is generally the buyer pays you, like buyer does the legal background check, whatever they want to do it, and after that they generally offer you 20% of their down payment. So most of the cases in India, 20% the buyer has to bring from their own pocket, and 80% generally they apply from home loan from different banks. So once they pay this 20%, you go for first agreement, which is called agreement for sale. Now notice this is agreement for sale. After this, when it's registered, then buyer generally goes for a loan. He submit all the documents with the first agreement, which is registered with you, and on that he gets 80% loan, which is paid to you. After getting this 80%, you hand over the property to buyer, and you go for another agreement, which is called sale deed. Now earlier was agreement, this was a deed. Now For lower TDS, you have to act after you signed MOU with your buyer. So once you get the MOU signed, you get a token money, you can start the procedure of lower TDS. So for lower TDS, buyer has to give TAN number. It's not a PAN number, it's TAN number. So TAN number he has to apply, which of course we can do. So we have buyer seller package together. So neither buyer nor seller has to bother anything else. They just have to approach us and we get the TAN number from the buyer, and we do all the compliance on behalf of buyer also. So buyer don't have to feel any difference whether it's a resident seller or NRI seller. Of course, they have to pay a little bit, I think, fees, which is 7,000 something. So once the MOU is signed, you got the copy of that. Second step is we apply for TAN number of the buyer. After getting the TAN number of buyer, we get all the documents from you for the property related, like when you bought this property, that agreement, how you paid the money from this for this property, like your bank statement, check details, all these things we take, and then on the base of that we calculate a tax, what will be the actual tax, and whatever tax rate is there, if it is less than 23%, say for example 5%, then we apply to income tax department, which is an online procedure which we do completely. And on the application, generally in 30 days, the income tax department issue us the lower TDS certificate. Now there may be scenario where they can raise a further queries, they may ask further documents. That's why we generally keep 45 days at least with us. So within 30 to 45 days, you will get your lower TDS. Now, once you get this lower TDS certificate, you have to give this certificate to buyer. Once buyer get this certificate, he will only deduct that much TDS and balance part he will pay to you. So yes, you have to take a little bit of effort, which is not that much. You just have to arrange for documents. You just have to arrange for initial documents like MOU and all, which is signed, and the lower TDS. The everything apart from that will be done by us, from buyer part and seller part. Both the compliance will be taken by us completely. So it's not that much demanding as it feels. Now there are certain questions. Some people ask, sir, do we need signed agreement copy? No, you only need Memorandum of Understanding, which is a simple 2 pages document, which the format which we already have. If you want, we can send the format to you. You can get it signed. There is no certification, no registration of this MOU is required. Simple plain letter signed document, which is called MOU, which we require. Second, what is the most important documents? So for NRIs, the most important document for applying the lower TDS is, first thing, they should be NRI. That means they should be staying out of India for 182 days, and previous 4 years they should be outside, should be treated as an NRI. Now, how to prove it? You just have to provide your passport copy with the stamping of immigration and exit. So whenever you are coming to India, there is generally a stamp put it. When you are going outside India, they put a stamp on your passport. That copies we require to prove that you are more than 182 days outside India. Third important document we require, the documents and information related to property purchase. For example, if you have purchased property, then the purchase agreement, which is called agreement for sale, with your builder, if you have directly bought from builder, and the proof of payment. So whatever payment you made, we need proof. For example, checks, or you have paid through banks. So all those entries we need to proof, send it to income tax through online portal, where we have to show a proof that, okay, I bought this property this way and I am the NRI and this is the actual my tax rate. So please allow me to get TDS at this particular rate. So by doing this much, your lower TDS will be approved. You can just send this document, lower TDS certificate, to your buyer. The buyer will pay TDS at that rate and the balance amount will come to you. What is benefit? Your money is with you. So you may earn 5-7% on that, which is more than our fees. And second important part, you don't have to wait for your refund, and then you don't have to run pillar to post to get it. In some cases, it's simply not so simple, because we have faced a lot of issues where after the refund is raised, the income tax department may issue some further notices, demand, just to keep your refund maybe in their system. So it's not that easy. So always, when you are NRI planning to sell property, don't go for paying TDS and 23% TDS. Better plan early and then file this lower TDS, and then you can do your all transaction without any hassle for getting refund. So hope friend, I have I have told you the how the procedure works from step by step. Step number one, I just brief you again. So step number one, when you and buyer are signing a document called MOU, you try to receive the least possible down what's called money, advance money, because on that advance money you have to pay 23%. After that, once your MOU is signed, you have to provide us document like MOU copy, purchase agreement, proof of payment, and then we'll apply a 10 number from buyer side, and then we'll apply online to income tax department after doing all the calculation for lower TDS. Once the lower TDS received, the buyer will pay 20% to you, and then you will go for first agreement, which is called agreement for sale. After the agreement of sale is done, buyer with this document will apply for loan disbursement from his bank. After loan is disbursed to you, you will hand over the property and you will go for second agreement, which is called sale deed. Now let me tell you, in some states the sale deed is not required, but I always recommend to get the sale deed done, because agreement for sale is the first document which open the whole process. Sale deed is a conclusive document. So once you go for sale deed registration, it concludes that the buyer has received the property and seller has received all the money. So hope all these steps already clear. Still, if you as an NRI buyer or NRI seller or NRI or resident buyer, if you have any other question related to property sale in India, feel free to ask question on this. Me or my team will definitely come back and reply on that. We are working in this field exclusively from more than 7-8 years. So we every year I think we handle almost 70% of lower TDS application which is processed in India by ourselves. So we are one of the biggest firm dealing with NRI cases and lower TDS cases. So that's all in this video, friends. Hope you like this content. If you of course have any query, come back to me. Put your comment questions. Just don't put your personal details there. In that case, you can send a mail. Either me or my team will come back and explain everything to you. That's all in this video. Thank you. Have a nice day.